Hey guys, All American Critic coming at you with another review. We're still in horror month here in the month of October, and today I'm going to be reviewing High School of the Dead. And High School of the Dead is a comical horror series about, high schoolers battling the undead in a zombie apocalypse. That's pretty much the plot right there. I mean, it's not crazy deep, but it's actiony and has pretty good characters and tons of fan service. Like tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of fan service. Yeah, it got really annoying with how many times I just said tons right there, but it gets really annoying with all the fan service that's in the show. So, moving on. The characters of the show were pretty good. For it only being 12 episodes, you get some development and you get a strong lead in Takashi. Now, Takashi knows what's up. He knows how to act. He knows what to do in the zombie apocalypse. He's not just your generic high schooler scared of everything or worried about everything. He's worried more about survival and knows how to act and doesn't panic about stuff. He's the kind of guy that you would want to be friends with in this situation. Character I really didn't like was Ray. Ray is his sort of love interest. They don't really go into it. Past love interest, at least, or something. I don't know. She ended up liking his friend who got bit and turned into a zombie in episode 1. And she's just really indecisive, and she doesn't really contribute a lot to the group. What she does contribute doesn't even help, in my opinion. She's kind of good with martial arts and spears and stuff. But she never stabs the zombies in the head, even when they find out that that's what kills them. She continues to stab them in the chest, which doesn't really do anything to zombies. She never really catches on to that. Aside from that, she just gets hurt and captured and stuff, and she's really annoying and sends a lot of mixed messages to Takashi and the viewer throughout the series, and I just didn't really like her. The character I really want him to be with is Sayako. Sayako is a badass athlete type high schooler, and she's really good with a sword, and even with the kendo kind of sword, the wooden sword, she just beats the crap out of a whole bunch of zombies, and she's really awesome. And she kind of develops this relationship with Takashi, but because the series is so short, they can't go into it that much. But I think that's the way he's gonna go if I had an expectation. One of my favorite characters was Hirano. Hirano's really funny. He's a chubby otaku kind of nerd, knows a lot about video games and stuff like that. But because of his experiences he's had in his life and his knowledge in video games and whatnot, he's a really good shooter. And he's the sharpshooter of the group. He knows everything about the guns and teaches other people how to shoot them. And uses this event, uses this catastrophe to basically become the person he's always wanted to be. And I don't know, I found his character kind of admirable in a way. And his sort of love interest is Takagi, who is this really uptight, self-proclaimed genius. She's kind of smart, but she's also kind of annoying. But you really root for Hirano to impress her, and he does at times, and then acts like an idiot at other times to provide the comedy of the show, which is actually balanced pretty well. The action and comedy of the show works out really well. There's some other characters that don't get as much development. There's the school nurse, and there's this little girl that they rescue. I didn't really like them, only because they're kind of one-dimensional in the show. Because it's only 12 episodes, not everybody gets to develop, and some people are just sort of there for comic relief and fan service, unfortunately. So yeah, I didn't really like those kind of characters. Yeah, characters I liked: Takashi, Hirano, Sayako. Characters I wish would die immediately: Ray, and that creepy teacher dude that's in there for some reason, and then he's not there, and then he's back, and then they kick him out. That was awesome. But yeah, overall, characters kind of meh. Wish there was more exploration on that. Presentation of the show, the animation's pretty good. The music is really good. The opening song is very good, but I have a problem with the opening animation because it's like actiony and then just transforms into a bunch of fan service. Kinda like the show does, but really, really pushed at you, and it's just really unnecessary. I don't get why they felt that they had to do that, because it would have been a much better show if you took all of that out. My grade for the show would be so much higher if it didn't have all this fan service involved. The dub is pretty good. Some of the characters kind of sound older than they should be. I don't know. They're supposed to be in high school, and some of them sound like they're like in their 20s, but it's probably hard with voice actors and stuff nowadays. I don't know. I'm not in the anime production process. But that's just what I thought. I kept thinking, wow, that voice sounds way older than they are. My overall enjoyment of the show, while the plot isn't super deep, it's enjoyable. It's everything guys really want to watch. I mean, you got action, you got blood, you got gore, you got zombies, you have girls running around like barely clothed and stuff like that, and there's even some minor character development. I just wish that there was more episodes of the show. There's only 12, and there's an OVA, but the OVA is really extra, and it doesn't. You get an ending, but it's not a super good ending, and it's not at all a super finished ending. Excuse me. And it's just sadly disappointing in the show, because it has so many good things going for it, but it really gets bogged down, for me at least, by all of the fan service and by the fact that there just isn't more of it. I have to review this as it is, and it just leaves me wanting more. If there was another season, I feel like my score would be higher, and if there was a lot less fan service, my score would definitely be higher. For High School of the Dead, I unfortunately give it a C-. That being said, I do recommend at least streaming it somewhere. It's a C-, but it's probably the highest ranking of the C-, if you can actually picture that, if that's even like a real thing. So it's like, hey, it's not an F, and it's not a D. But yeah, it's not a terrible show. If you don't mind fan service, you're gonna love the show. It's probably gonna be like an A for you. If you're into zombies, if you're into horror action kind of stuff, if you're into high school sort of characters, you're gonna adore this anime. Anybody who's into zombie survival in anime, you're gonna love this. But for me, it's a C-. I wish we could have seen more. But yeah, I want to know, what do you guys think of High School of the Dead? What do you guys think of fan service? I mean, why is it necessary in a show like this? I feel like it could have been so much better without it. As always, guys, thank you. Please subscribe. I am the All-American Critic. Please give me some more options for Horror Month. I'm going to be coming at you with my next video with my review of Another. Thanks, guys. This is the All-American Critic, signing out.